Good evening, Gwen. Lovely to
Hi,
see you. Just slightly mad at this end. Hope it's nice and peaceful and calm wherever you are.
Yes, I'm in my last day in Devon.
Yeah, on this
I travel there tomorrow.
autumn equinox, and
Yes.
lovely energy and mad energy day. I just was thinking to myself earlier, it's no wonder it's all topsy-turvy with all that, all the planets that are busy being retrograde, pausing
Yeah.
the sky and kind of going, you will notice, human beings, you will notice the world is needing change. So
I was reading today that come the new moon at the weekend, Jupiter's the nearest it's been to Earth for over 70 years.
Yeah. So it's having a powerful pull on our spirituality, of course, as it always does. Really strong. So we did say we would do a tarot reading, didn't we?
We did.
So if I remember rightly, it's even your turn to start this time.
It is my turn to start, Annie. Yes, I shall get my glasses on. I'm using the Priestess of Light cards again. They seem to be resonating quite well with the way things are at the moment. So so I shall be using those, and I'll pick 5 cards, give them a good shuffle, because we're really at an end of quite an emotional fortnight, aren't we? That us in Britain have had. And I remember our last time we were talking about that. So it'd be interesting to see what the cards are saying this time. We've got sort of things that are influencing us at the moment, and beautiful card here, lady on and very much to do with the shamanic journey. So looking for purpose, looking for the vision ahead. And I think we did talk about that last week. So this is interesting. This is more the sort of past card. So we've decided where we're wanting to go. It's just got to travel, and the moon on that card. And as I say, we're coming up to the new moon, and this new moon's in Libra. So it's very much about finding your balance and maybe with your visions in mind, staying strong in any decisions that you want to make. Make sure the clarity's there. Interesting, we have the lion priestess here, and she's very much about the courage. So it's having the courage and the strength to make sure you stand in your own space, and you make your own decisions, and you're not too influenced by the wider world and what's happening in the wider world, and maybe more looking at getting strength from friends and family at this moment in time. I think it's also talking about that strength that's within us, and as we move forward with our visions, I'm getting that we need to it's not a stubbornness, it's more a fierceness, with the lion being in this card, more of a fierceness in making sure you stand your ground, and you are, what's happening around you is what you're wanting to happen. You're not being influenced by the wider world. Lovely priestess here, and this is very interesting because this is the hardest card, and of course we've got into the autumn equinox, which is the final festival of the year. Mabon, as is known in pagan world, part of the wheel of the year, and this is when we're gathering the final crops. But I think what we're doing is gathering our blessings. So everything that we've seen happen for the better throughout this year is appreciating all big and small things that have happened, and using that to take you through sort of, you know, the darker months that are coming now, the darker nights. So it's a bit like, you know, from now on we sort of go into like a hibernation, like the bears do, don't we? So it is about gathering your harvest, and well, I know I'll be wrapped up in a furry blanket anyway when it gets cold with the heating. Yeah, so it's about gathering your blessings from what's happened in the year, positive, negative, and just being thankful for where you are at the moment. And then this is a beautiful card. I love the colours on this card, like turquoise and blue.
Oh, yeah.
Very much. She's in the forest here, and she has her wolf guide next to her. You see that? Yes.
Yeah.
And this is about a guide. This is the guiding card, and she has a white light shining from her hand, and I think that's her torch. That's her bright light that she needs to take forward, so that she knows where she's going and the path that she wants to take. I think it's very much about what's what I'm thinking, walking your walk, you know, and sort of talking your talk and walking your walk. That's one I like. And it is about being true to yourself for others, illuminating that path ahead for the future, and the bright light that will take you through the dark nights. And I think this is wonderful, because I've sort of taken myself into sort of the turning of the year now for some reason. And what I'm looking at now is all that has happened this year. I mean, this is like the rising phoenix. All that's happened this year, and the, you know, the positive things and the losses, the huge losses that we've had this year. And we will come out of this. We will come out of this, you know, radiant. It's Soul Radiance is the name of the card. With radiance, with bright lights, with hope. Just like the phoenix rising again. You know, we will survive this. We've got the strength of family and friends around us, and we will come through this. And I just feel that next year is going to be a little bit different to this year, in that we're taking forward from now into the next few months, the reflection of what's happened, and then everything will start anew in the new year. That's feeling right. Yeah, so they're the cards. Very much about the visions that we've had. We've reaped the benefits of them. We've lost some crops. We've lost people. We've lost things in our lives. But we've stayed forward. We've got the courage to and the strength to move forward. But it's family and friends, and never mind what everything else is going on around you. You, your family and your friends are close with you. You know, gather your blessings, illuminate your path, and rise from it. You know, things are on the up. I'm really getting that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I've got 5 cards as well, and I'm using my show you the front of the book, my Starseed Oracle.
Oh yes.
Because there are times these come out, and I've had my star being guide blue around me quite a bit this week, just trying, you know, reminding me to lift the energy, or that the energy is lifting. So the first one is this beautiful card, this beautiful blue being. I'll just move forward slightly. This is the Star Keeper card. And it's really interesting I'm saying about having my guide blue around me, because this card is all about the cosmic ancestors, and the way in which we can it actually says seed the light by staying grounded. And of course, now we're harvesting, we're already starting to think about or reflect on what worked this year, what didn't work, what seeds we need to get ready to plant when we move into the spring equinox, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, we've got sort of 6 months to go, and and I'm actually quite struck because there's lots of stars, and I chose my star background to put on. But I also think about, it's interesting because we are in the northern hemisphere. For us, the light is going, but the seeds that are going to be planted in the southern hemisphere from this equinox onwards, we'll have a harvest for them in spring, in our springtime. It will be their harvest time, and how wonderful that sort of cycle is. And so there's this cosmic ancient cycle as we spin in our little planet, and all the other planets spin around us doing their stuff.
Yes.
And for me, what the light beings, the star beings, kind of remind us of is that we've just only gone through one little tiny cycle. The events of this year are one tiny cycle in a vast cosmos of events and happenings, and we've got the opportunity to see it with that perspective, to look at it from afar and recognize, you know, we're going through these times, you know, all these planets retrograde and whatevers and moons and what, going through these times just as our ancestors did.
Yes.
Time after time after time. And I think it's a lovely card just to connect us in to what I want to call the Ancient of Days.
Right, yeah.
That sense, and I guess as well, just thinking about Queen Elizabeth and the funeral and everything, those events are you know, ancient rites and timelessnesses, and what struck me about it was they took the orb and the scepter and the crown off the coffin, and I felt as if she'd got permission to return back to being an ordinary human being. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Releasing her from her duties. And the star keepers are reminding us, you know, we're going through our duties, but the cycles keep going. And so what we need to do is just be aware, be mindful that we're here on a journey. We have the journey, then we go back, and then we come back, and then we go back again, and so it goes. And so if we can, at this autumn time, in the harvest time, just remember we're going to be planting again soon. It's you know, it's inevitable. Sorry, I'm giggling a little bit because I love this next card. This is a beautiful card. I don't know if you can see her properly.
Oh, yes, like gold.
Beautiful bubble above her head.
Yes.
And she's just so beautifully sparkly. And this is called Double Mission. And here she is amongst all these bubbles of light, the cosmos again. And it's a signal that it's time to serve the world by being you.
Yes.
You know, that whether you're a light worker or a star seed or anything else that's here on the planet at this moment helping, it's time to be you. That what you've got, and she just looks so tranquil. Sorry, I'll hold her up again.
She does, yes.
I've disappeared. Sorry. She looks so tranquil and adrift in this beautiful, beautiful starscape. You know, we can stay peaceful. We can stay together, settled. We can recognize we are here to do something, and recognize that by being ourselves. And I'm reminded of the Lion Priestess card, you know, being ourselves, just that peacefulness of being who we are uniquely, will help us move forward and make the right choices. And then we've got this one, which is Earth Pulsing. Oh, sorry, let's see.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So we've got a wonderful waterfall, beautiful sky, green mountains, beautiful pink flowers, and a river flowing. And it's the pulse of the mother, slow down time in nature. And of course, now we are taking a slower time. That's what we turn into at Mabon, the autumn equinox, is moving into a time of reflection, a time of recognizing the abundance the earth gives us. I think sometimes we get very hooked in the material things we can buy, or we feel like we need to have around us. And actually what this earth pulsing card is reminding us is there's so much more to abundance than the latest phone or the latest car or the pair of brand new special shoes or whatever. That whatever we have is precious because it's a gift from the earth, from Mother Earth. And especially when we feel under pressure in our abundance, to go back to nature, to go back to the abundance of nature. And it's funny, I've been doing some gardening today and just really talking to the plants, you know, just saying thank you for growing and moving stuff around, and just recognizing this grounding that the first card mentioned happens best when we are in nature, when we're treading the earth and blessing the earth for sustaining us. And I don't know if you could quite see it, but the figure on the card, the figure in the card, try and get it in the right spot. There we are. The figure, there's a figure, the blue figure on the pink.
Oh yes.
That's actually a person, a woman lying down in all that beautiful pink flowers. Surrounded by flowers, and she's just resting, taking her ease. I'm laughing because my guide is called Blue, so I'm also thinking, okay, Blue, you're asking us just to nourish ourselves for the next couple of weeks. Just take that ease and take that time to get connected and grounded again if we've got a little bit off planet. Okay. Because what's coming up is the Star Brothers card. This is a gentleman, and he's got the birds there surrounding him. It's all about the connection to protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. These are royal eagles. There's in this card, there's Horus, the god Horus energy, and the birds are watching in both directions, and one's watching out of the card as well. So we've got the protective wings around us. We've got the vision, the all-round vision. So over the next couple of weeks, there's a settling down and a reminding ourselves that we are safe, we are protected, and it will come through connection with others, other people bringing us that feeling of connection, other people bringing us that feeling of security and safety, and a lot from our star guides, our star being guides. So we can expect some kind of unusual or unexpected signs and symbols over the next few weeks. I actually feel like the next 3 weeks there might be quite a bit of UFO activity. There might be quite a bit of individual signs and symbols coming in from our star guides, just to remind us we're part of a cosmic flow.
Exactly.
Rather than just, you know, life is only about the material world. Hang on, this cosmic flow. I also want to say, because these are very regal birds, I want to say, and it's interesting that it's a male card, and of course we've got a king now in Great Britain, with a king with quite strong feminine energy, actually, I feel. But also this sort of taking the overview, looking from a higher position, So when we're trying to decide things or judge things, look from a higher position, look from a different perspective, a higher perspective.
Yes.
And again, when we're thinking about how our year has gone and what's worked and what hasn't, just recognizing that it may not have worked at the moment, but who knows what it will be in a year's time or 2 years' time. Sometimes things we think haven't worked actually have worked, but the change that comes because of it is a much slower track.
Yes.
So, you know, there's a bit of a sort of timelessness about this, and maybe we need to think that, well, you know, those Egyptian pyramids didn't all get built in a day. Maybe they took a tad longer. So maybe we have to allow ourselves just to see from that different perspective and see it as, you know, cosmic time rather than human time.
Human time, yes.
And the last one, this is another one I love when I get it. This one's, here she is, she's falling. Okay, it's called Earth School. And she's not exactly falling, she's dived in. She's dived into the Earth's atmosphere.
Yes.
Coming in from that higher place. And she's here to remind us that Earth is a school. We're learning life lessons. We're having soul growth. We do need to study, and we do need to think about higher learning. And I feel like that's planting the seed, because she's coming from this lovely pink cloud, you see, and that's love into the Earth's atmosphere. And one of the biggest lessons is learning to hold on to that love for self and love for others when buffeted by, because it looks fairly cloudy and stormy that she's diving into. Yeah. So we have to kind of try and remember that we've chosen to be here, that we've chosen the circumstances that we're in, and globally that we are embracing the need to change, that one way or another, maybe being dragged kicking and screaming, so to speak, we're getting that sense and understanding it is time to change, it's time to do it differently. We need to bring back the love, we need to bring back the ease with which we can flow through this life. It doesn't have to be a struggle unless we turn it into a struggle. Are you with me? Yes. So I do feel like this card is kind of giving us a heads up. There's still a lot of events to happen to really get us to be energized to change. Each event energizes more people until we're like, I'm laughing because my guide Blue showed me, it's like boiling water. You get a few bubbles and then it all gets agitated and the steam's released, and that's what's happening. The heat or the energy is being applied. We're all starting to fizz and bubble, and you know,
it's that volcanic eruption we're waiting for.
Yeah. Well, at some time that water will boil and that steam will be released, but that then allows us to make the changes. It gives us the energy we need to make those changes that are really coming forward now, thick and fast. People are looking at the world and going, that needs to be different, that needs to be different. And that sort of inner passion to make it different, change it. And again, I think for me, what this card's kind of signifying is this period of reflection over the darker months, of helping to work out what the change should be. I also feel that because obviously the whole world is connected to one another, what it will do is it will generate some interesting seeds to be planted for those going forward into their spring. and we might see some interesting things coming out of the southern hemisphere as a result of the boiling, bubbly water that's currently flowing around the world. And it's interesting because the Queen was connected, obviously, with two quite significant countries in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
So yes, I think we've got it'll be interesting to see how it manifests, but I feel like the southern hemisphere is going to bring some more stuff to the surface for us to say this has got to change.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Again, so much synchronicity in the cards, Annie. I know I always say it, but it is, and you know, and the cards have come out at this time. You know, I got a harvest card. You got a harvest card. You know, the cards always come out at the right time, don't they? Those messages are there.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we're still going to have interesting times.
Oh yes. But have friends and family around you pushing forward, hold you up if need be. Stand your own ground. I think that's the other thing it said, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yes, yeah, definitely. Keep grounded.
That's it.
Focused. Yeah, definitely. So it's been lovely to chat to you, Gwen.
Yeah.
Fabulous to read the cards and see what they brought out. And we'll do it again in another week or two, won't we?
Definitely. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay, Annie, you take care.
Yeah, you too, darling.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.